بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نقدم لكم ثالث دروس اللغة الإنجليزية للسنة الثالثة ثانوي قسم العلمي English for Secondary 3 Scientific Section presented by سرور الهادي الكرزاب. Unit 5 Holidays Lesson 3 A Happy Tourist. Objects. Read an article for specific information. We're going to do a scan to get specific information and answer some questions. Extend knowledge of collocations. We have the meaning of collocations and some examples. Review the present perfect simple and continuous. We're going to review these two tenses, present perfect simple and continuous. The first part of our lesson is reading the article. Here, try to focus on the uses of or the sentences with the present perfect simple and present perfect continuous and the uses of the adverbs of time, since, and for. Let us start reading. Here, the title of the article, The Happy Traveler. This week, Steve Harper tells us about his favorite Libyan tour company, Safar Tours. هنا المقالة حول شخص اسمه ستيف هاربر، حيتكلم على شركة السفر الليبية المفضلة ليه، اسمها سفر Tours, which written with a capital letters here, اسم الشركة. Let us start reading. I've been coming to Libya on business since 2009. In fact, in all, I've visited this country 15 times now, and I still thoroughly enjoy my trips here. I usually extend my stay by a couple of extra days, because one of the things I love doing here is going on excursions and doing some sightseeing. That's how I discovered Safar Tours, which is one of Libya's longest established travel companies. In fact, Safar Tours has been organizing trips and excursions for over 30 years. Ahmed Salim is the owner and manager of Safar Tours. I've known him for 3 years now, and I can honestly say that all his tours have most definitely lived up to my expectations. I have never been disappointed in any way by any of the tours he has organized for me. I've been on trips to the desert. I have visited most of the ancient ruins in Libya. I have been to the Lips Magna in Homs, Sabrata, Tripolis National Museum, Shahat, and been to the Libyan Sahara 3 times already. And that's only to name a few. Safar Tours was started by Ahmed's father, Ibrahim, in 1976 in a little office in Al-Rashid Street. Over the years, the business has grown considerably, and they've moved offices several times. Since last July, they have had a very attractive modern office on Asadun Street. I arrived here last Monday, so I've now been in Libya for 8 days. Since Thursday, when I finished my business, I have been going on tours around the country. I could never have achieved so much without the help of Ahmed Salim at Safar Tours. I certainly wouldn't hesitate to recommend this company to anyone considering an extended stay in Libya. Try to scan the article to get specific information here to answer these questions. Question number 1. How long has Steve Harper been coming to Libya? Try to get the answer from the article? The answer is since 2009. Question number 2. How many times has he visited the country? 15 times. Number 3. How long has Safar Tours been organizing tours? For over 30 years. Number 4. How long has Steve known Ahmed? Try to skim the article. The answer is for 3 years. Yeah. Number 5. How long has Safar Tours had their office on Asadun Street? How long? Since last July. Number 6. How long has Steve been in Libya so far on this visit? For 8 days so far on this visit. The last one. What has he been doing since finishing his business? He has been going on tours around the country since finishing his business. The second part of our lesson, we have the meaning of collocations. Collocations are words or phrases that we often find together. Verbs and other types of words. So, the combination of words can be any type of word class. So, collocation can be verb plus noun, noun plus noun, or adjective plus noun, etc. Let us study the example. Example of the verb perform. مثال على فعل perform هو ينجز أو يجري. We perform a play. A surgeon performs an operation. So the verb perform can go with the word play or the noun play and with the noun operation. نستطيع القول perform a play يقدم أو يؤدي مسرحية. Perform an operation يجري عملية جراحية. We do not perform a discussion or lecture. So the verb perform cannot go with the word discussion or lecture. So we can say that perform a play and perform an operation are collocations. So these two words are collocations. Let us study the examples in our lesson. We have here 4 examples. Thoroughly can go with the word enjoy. Thoroughly enjoy. I can honestly say. I can honestly say. Lived up to my expectations. Lived up to my expectations. To name a few. To name a few. So these words called collocations. Now let us go to the grammatical functional part, talking about periods of time in the past. Here we will ask and answer with the present perfect symbol. We will ask with how long plus present perfect symbol, and the answer should be with the, one of the adverbs of time, for or since. We use how long and the present perfect to ask about a period of time from the past until now. This is the use of present perfect symbol. Period of time from the past until now. Here the example. How long have you lived in this city? Here the question asks about a period of time started in the past and continue until now. We use for to answer this question about a period of time that started in the past and continues until now. Here, if you answer with for, here you'll talk about the period of time. يعني إذا كان استعملنا for للإجابة بمعنى منذ، هنا حنذكر طول الفترة الزمنية a period of time. I have lived in this city for 10 years. For 10 years. We use since. If we answer with since, the adverb since, to answer about a point in time when the action started. الإجابة هنا باستعمال adverb since ظرف الزمان since إذا كان نذكر نقطة زمنية اللي هي بداية الفترة الزمنية. We use since to answer about point in time when the action started. بداية الفترة الزمنية، بداية العيش في هذه المدينة. I have lived here since 2010. Read the sentences and match each one to the statement that best describes it. Here we have sentences and you have to match them to the description here. A, talking about a period of time, or match the sentence with B, talking about a point in time. Talking about a period of time, it means that you use for. And talking about a point in time, it means we use since. Let us start with first one. I have been at this college for 4 years. Here we use the adverb for. We'll match it with A, talking about a period of time. The second one, he has taught her since 2012. Here we have the adverb since. So we are talking about what? Talking about point in time with B. The third one, they have been friends since last year. Here we have since last year. With B, here we are talking about point in time. The last one, my father has worked in that office for 6 months. Here we are talking about period of time with A. Look at these dates. Here we have another explanation, shows the difference between for and since. Here we have now, we are here in 2021, and we have 2011 and 10 years, the same period here, and here the future. Look, here we will ask about something. How long have they been married? How long have they been married? If we will answer with the period of time or the length of time, 10 years. How can we answer with the period of time? إذا كان الإجابة بتكون بذكر طول الفترة الزمنية منذ 10 سنوات. The length of time, you have to use for. You have to say for 10 years. They have been married for 10 years. Let us repeat the question also. Have you or how long have they been married? If we answer or if we want to answer with the starting point, إذا كان حنذكروا بداية الفترة الزمنية when they get married. You have to answer with since 2011. You have to say since 2011. So this is the difference. The same answer or the two answers are true. You can say for 10 years or since 2011. Are they still married? Will they be married tomorrow? In both cases, yes. So now they are still married. So here we used the present perfect simple, talk about period of time or an action, start in the past and continue until now. We have a test here, and you have to choose whether to use since or for with these words and phrases. With Friday, you have to use since because it's a point in time, Friday. But with 10 years, you have to use for because it's a length of time. لأنها طول فترة. هنا هنستعمله الادverb for. Look at the other examples. Number 1, I was at nursery school. Number 2, last January. Number 3, yesterday. Number 4, 3 weeks. Number 5, a month and a half. Number 6, I was 6. Number 7, ages. Number 8, I was born. Number 9, the 1st of March. Number 10, about 1996. 11, 2 hours. The last one, a very long time. بإمكانك القيام بهذا الاختبار بالدخول على الرابط المرفق لهذا الفيديو والحصول على الإجابة الصحيحة لهذا الاختبار. In this section, we have to rewrite these sentences so they have a similar meaning. We have to use present perfect simple and adverb of time since or for. Here you have the main verb between brackets that you have to use. The last time I saw her was in 2001. How can we write the sentence with a similar meaning? You have to use here present perfect, have, and the past participle of the main verb see. I, and here the negative form. I haven't seen her since. Here in 2001, it's a point in time. من 2001. من since here. You have to use since. I haven't seen her since 2001. Look at the second example. They got married 3 years ago. They got married 3 years ago. Here we have a length of time mentioned and the main verb be. They've been married for 3 years. منذ, and here طول الفترة الزمنية 3 years, length of time. They've been married for 3 years. So these two sentences have a similar meaning. Let us study the other example. We first met them in July, and the main verb that you have to use, know. Here in July you have to notice that it's a point in time and you have to use a present perfect simple. We've known them since July. We have, and the past participle of the main verb, and here it's a point in time, since. We've known them since July. The second one, he bought that motorbike a long time ago. He bought that motorbike a long time ago. And the main verb here, have. You have to use a present perfect simple and one of the adverbs since or for. Here we have a long time ago. It's a point or in time or length. A long time means it's a length of time. He has, and a present perfect symbol has, and the main verb here, past participle of have, had. He has had that motorbike for a long time. The third one, she last went to the dentist in September. Here we have the main verb that you have to use, and you have to form negative form of the present perfect. She, and the auxiliary has, not, she hasn't. The main verb be, she hasn't been to the dentist. Here point in time, since September. Look at the other examples here. Number 4. We last ate there in July. And you have to use the verb eat. Here we, the auxiliary verb, have. And you have to use a negative form after the auxiliary verb have. We haven't eaten, past participle of eat. There, here it's a point in time, July, since July. We haven't eaten there since July. The next one, he got angry at lunchtime. You have to use the verb be and the present perfect symbol. He's been angry since lunchtime. It's a point in time. Since lunchtime. It's not a duration. The last one. The last time he wrote or phoned was 6 months ago. 6 months ago. You have to note that here the time, it's a period or point in time, and you have to use the main verb here, be in touch. The answer is he hasn't, here in a negative form, he hasn't been, past participle of be. He hasn't been in touch for 6 months. For 6 months. Here 6 months, it's a period of time or the length, يعني طول فترة, for 6 months. He hasn't been in touch for 6 months. The last part of our lesson, talking about present actions that started in the past by using the present perfect continuous. Revise the present perfect continuous that you have studied, the use of it. We use the present perfect continuous to ask and answer about activities that began in the past and have just finished or are still going on now. يعني استعمال المضارع التام المستمر للإجابة أو للسؤال على حدث start in the past بدأ في الماضي and have just finished now انتهى في هذه اللحظة أو ما زال مستمر still going on. Here we have an examples. How long have they been talking? How long have they been talking? And the form of it, as you have studied, have been plus the verb in the ing in the present participle. Have been talking. Another example, how long have you been waiting? Here have plus been and the present participle of the main verb. Here these two questions ask about an action began in the past and have just finished or still going on. The second note here, the present perfect continuous describes the same time period as the present perfect symbol. So we use since and for with this tense as well. So this is the important point here. you have to notice that the two tenses, present perfect continuous and present perfect simple, describe the same time period which happened in the past and have just finished or still going on. الزمنين يصف نفس النقطة الزمنية اللي هي action happened in the past and have just finished or still going on. So you can use for and since with the two tenses to answer for these questions. With the present perfect continuous or present perfect simple, you can use since and for. They have been talking for an hour. Here to mention the length, for an hour, or since 8 o'clock. So you can answer with the present perfect continuous. Here you can use for and since also with this tense, present perfect continuous. Let us practice this rule. For each situation, write questions using the words in brackets. Use the present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. Then write a suitable answer using since or for. Let us start with the example here. You arrive late for your appointment. You ask, you can use how long, either present perfect continuous or present perfect simple. How long have you been waiting? How long have you been waiting? Here, present perfect continuous. The main verb in the present participle. And you can answer either with for or since. For 10 minutes or since 6 o'clock. Let us do the rest of this section. You have a friend who is learning Japanese. You ask. You can ask with present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. How long have you been learning Japanese? How long? Here with the present perfect continuous. How long have you been learning Japanese? And here you can answer with for or since. Number 2, you meet a pilot. You ask. You can ask with how long with the present perfect simple or how long plus present perfect continuous. Here we can use present perfect simple. How long have you been a pilot? How long have you been a pilot? And here you can answer with since or for. Number 3, you meet somebody who is a writer. You ask with how long plus present perfect simple or how long plus present perfect continuous. Here's the answer. How long have you been writing? How long have you been writing? Here, present perfect continuous. How long have you been and the form of ing of the main verb write. Number 4, you are going to meet a friend of your cousin. You ask how long and the main verb know. You can say how long have you known her? How long have you known her? Here we use present perfect simple. Have and the past participle of the main verb. How long have you known her? The last one. Your sister is busy cooking for a party. You ask how long and the main verb cook. Also here you can ask with present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. We can say, how long have you been cooking? How long have you been cooking? Here present perfect continuous. And you can answer either with for and since. I close our lesson with this beautiful saying. Never give up on a dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish. The time will pass anyway.